back in time.
Okay, my
We're
bad.
going back in time. Like we're literally regressing. And personally, I feel like how do I say this? I feel like progression, or I feel like people feel like progression has reached its peak, and like there ain't no. I mean, obviously, anybody with a brain could tell you no, but I feel like people feel like progression has reached this peak of like its height. So there's nowhere else to go. So I feel like they're just moving back in time because like at this point we're regressing. There's no more progression. There's no more moving forward. So the only way I feel like we've hit a ceiling because
That's those fucking rich people. They ain't got
I,
shit else to do.
They ain't
They're
got nothing to
bored.
do.
I
They
don't
want to
even
mess with
feel
our lives.
I don't even like I get it, but I don't even feel like it's just them. Like I feel like people on the right, and I hate to make this political, but whatever. People on the right, they're getting more bold. Like these types of thoughts would have been, like I said, in 2008, 2010, somebody would have looked at you sideways. But I feel like people in the right, they're feeling more bold to say all the madness that they've been thinking their whole life. So it's like, because of, I mean, let's be real, Trump really let them know, like, oh, you can
Yeah.
say this wild shit, and like nobody's gonna do nothing. Okay, so everybody's getting bold to say all them wild thoughts and just and it's not even like they're saying the wild thoughts and it's just getting like a pass, like, oh, they're just crazy, who cares? Like people are actually fucking listening, and that's the shit that fucking kills me. We are moving back in time, like legitimately. People really want us to be back in like the 50s, the 40s, the 30s. Like they want women to not to stay in the fucking house, be pregnant. Hey, all y'all gay people or people on the LGBT, nah, go back in hiding. Y'all go back to where y'all belong, which means out of the spotlight. We don't want to know that y'all exist. Fuck all that shit. Like it's wild. It's wild out here because the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because um aside from me hearing that, like that shit was already wild on its own. But like, I don't know if y'all heard. First off, I don't know if y'all know who Steven Crowder is. He's
Mm-mm.
a nigga on the right who that the dude who he's the nigga who is the meme where it's like he's sitting at the table and it's like blank changed my mind or something like that. That's him. That white guy. That's him. So basically, he's on the right and he believes all this shit that's on the right, like, oh, uh children need a mother and a father. Basically, you already know the rundown about how people on the right feel. But basically, he's in the news. All these fucking bugs. What the fuck, man? Anyway, so he's on the right, and apparently, like he has a podcast or whatever, and apparently he and his wife are getting a divorce. So
Yeah, they bringing their emotions into stuff,
That's
ego
so
and stuff like that.
he's getting a divorce or whatever, and um his wife, he and his wife got twins. But when he mentioned it on his podcast that he and his wife are getting a divorce, um he worded it in a way where it's like, oh, basically that he didn't want the divorce, she wanted the divorce, and that, you know, oh, poor me, basically like, oh, she wasn't happy, so, you know, I mean, I hate that this happens because we have our children to think about, blah blah blah, but she wanted a divorce, so I have no choice. Because apparently I didn't know about this, and I'm gonna start looking into it more deeply, but Texas has what they call a no fault divorce clause, where it's like only one person, like if one person in a marriage just says, yeah, this shit ain't working out, they have to legally, like, it's not a two-person thing where both of y'all can agree to get the divorce. If one person wants the divorce, they have to oblige by that. And I personally didn't know that was a thing.
I
I
think
thought
it's
that.
the same over here too. Because
So
my
yeah,
aunt recently got one.
so he's in Texas, and so I guess they have that clause where it's like, okay, only one person wants a divorce, so it has to go through. So, but he was saying like, oh, you know, um, you guys don't worry about me. Like, basically, he said something like, oh, she's allowed to get the divorce because she wants the divorce instead of both parties wanting a divorce. And I'm like, what you mean allowed? Like, if she wants to divorce you, let her divorce you. Like, you're saying it as if women shouldn't be allowed to want to walk away.
That's how they
Like,
feel.
like they're dead ass fucking. We're
They
going
feel
back in
they should.
time.
That's
Like,
really how they feel.
like women
It's
shouldn't be.
really, it's like you said, going back in time, but it's more of that's how they've been wanting things to be, but because everybody else is evolving, they felt like they had no choice. But now, since they know that they're able to really voice and being that they have more power over everybody else and everything,
Mhm.
they can
Yep.
just go ahead and make do with what they want. And it's like the people who are over everything, of course, have passed that mind, that mindset down. So of course they're like, might as well take advantage, do what I want to do, put into, enforce what I want to enforce.
Right. And what makes this more weird, or not weird, but like what makes this crazy is that they showed he basically on the podcast was like he made it known, or he made it known to say that there was no abuse, whether it be physical or emotional or verbal going on in a relationship, and blah blah blah. She just wanted to, basically making it seem like she wanted a divorce for no reason, right? So I don't know who released the tape, but there was this video of him and his wife in their back. I guess it was like a security video, and in the security video, she it's him and her. They're sitting outside talking, and basically she's first off she's pregnant as fuck in the video, right? And she's pregnant with twins. She looks like she's going to pop any day now. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna take the car. Shut up. I'm gonna take the car. I'm gonna nah, cause niggas outside my door like fucking shut up. Um I don't like noise, but then again I shouldn't be outside. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, in the video, like I said, she's like 8 months pregnant. And she's like, all right, I'm taking the car to go get groceries. I'll be back. He was like, no. She was like, what are you talking about? He was like, yeah, no. She's like, I'll be back when are you coming back? I'll be back when I'm back. Like, what do you he was like, no, because then you're gonna he's like, you don't understand. Like, you taking the car means that I'm gonna be stuck here. I can't visit my friends. I can't go to the gym. I can't blah blah blah. And she was like, well, Steven, what do you want me to do? Go take an Uber. Nigga, if your wife is beyond pregnant and you're telling her to take a fucking Uber to go get groceries,
Not
like,
let me go get groceries before I go hang out so you can chill out. Not
Right.
I'll get it
Or
done or
I'll
something,
go with you or
or how
something. Let
about
me
I'll
ride
do
with
it after
you.
I come
That's
back.
crazy.
Yeah, or how
and
That's
about better yet,
wild.
let me just go ahead and get somebody else to do it
but
so we
but
both
that's the
can
thing
chill out.
though. That's the thing. They made it the situation feel when you watch the video, situation feels like I like the history that I'm um obviously it's gonna be an assumption, but the history that I assume is in the video is that she legit be trying to get away from this dude because he's crazy. That's what I take away from it. But in the video, like I said, he's telling her to take an Uber to go get groceries, and she not wanting to yell at him, not wanting to do anything. She's like, Steven, what do you want? Like, I'll get you whatever you need, and I'll be back. No, fucking no. Like, No, because then I don't get to go out and do what I'm. Girl, she's 8 months pregnant, like with twins, and you gonna make her take a Uber to go get groceries? I'm baffled. And he was like, yeah, no, you don't. He's like, why don't you actually be a wife and do your wifely duties? And she was like, what does that mean?
I thought she was trying to do that while going to get groceries.
Well,
That
she
nigga
shouldn't have had to
he
do by
don't he
herself.
didn't give a fuck about
Right.
no
He
groceries.
should have went with her.
He didn't offer. He was like, yeah, well, yeah, go take the Uber. And she's like, I'll be back when I'm back. No, I don't want to. That's not even a fucking good enough answer. And so
Nigga,
she was
you
like,
take an Uber.
facts, facts, facts. And it's not even like he wants to do anything that's necessary. You want to go hang out with your friends. He's like, oh, I can't go visit my
Right.
parents, my friends. I can't go to the gym. You're leaving me locked
Yeah,
up in
like
your
she was
coop.
going forever. Like she just said she was going to the grocery store. Like, chill out. She coming back.
Bruh,
It's always a
you're not
control
doing your
thing. They
wifely
want,
duties.
everything their way and nothing more, nothing less. They wanted to go exactly as they might as well just turn them fucking sex dolls into
That
robots
y'all
like
must
they
be
are
going
Bruh.
doing
around
anyway.
because my
Not even
mama was talking
hold on,
about
I
something
ain't even done.
similar.
I ain't even done. So
'Cause
basically,
they want them to
dude
go
dude was like, what did he say to her? She, like I said, you can tell by the vibe that this man is. I kind of feel I got the vibe that he is abusive, like in more ways than how how he was verbally abusing her in that video. But hey, you like I said, y'all gotta watch the video for yourself. But basically,
What's the name of
um,
it?
he
Where you saw
said,
that?
I'm gonna forward it to y'all when I find it.
Okay.
But he said she is very timid in the video. She's like, Steven, I don't want to deal with this right now. I don't not why you're like this. I love you. I'm committed to you. Let me know what you want so I can go and get it for you. Et cetera, et cetera. He was just like, watch it. Fucking watch it. And I'm like, hey, yo, what? What?
Watch what?
At the way he's talking to her, the way she's talking to him. That's why I'm like,
What?
yo, he probably beats her. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm
Because
like,
for him
bruh.
to randomly be like, there was no abuse like ever on the
Mm-hmm.
podcast. Like, ain't nobody said it was. Like, why did you even bring that up?
He's
Key.
trying to spin a narrative before somebody else can spin the narrative.
Before something
Exactly.
comes out about him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like somebody that's like somebody entering the room saying like, "Oh, I'm not gay." Not nigga. Ain't nobody say you like what? Like, like what do you even talk? Nobody even had their mind on that. What are you talking about? So yeah, the right. It's making me very scared for the future. That's why I don't want children. That's exactly number one. Like aside from the whole they might fuck my body up, they might fuck my skin up, X, Y, and Z. As far as my body is concerned, that's my number one. Like children don't deserve to be in a world like this. They don't. Like how are you going to go to jail for having a miscarriage? Somebody explain that to me. What the fuck? Like you're gonna send me to prison
As
for a
if it's
bodily
not
function that I couldn't
already
control.
as if it's not already traumatic and hard
Mm-hmm.
enough to get through. Now there's a chance that you get locked up for something that you can't even control, something that is probably going to affect you mentally and physically.
They don't give a fuck about women's feelings. They think that we belong in the fucking kitchen, barefoot as fuck, pregnant as fuck. Like, no.
with
How are y'all
the
gonna ban fucking birth control? Like, what?
how y'all want us pregnant but don't want to take care of the
Don't
kids.
want to
It's
take care of
sad.
the
Say it
babies.
again. Say it
And you
again.
don't want to
Cause
pay
like,
for them. It'd be different if they're like, we just don't want to do the, the homemaking and stuff, to being the nurturer and stuff like
Well,
that.
you still
Y'all
need to do
literally
that.
don't want to take care of the
they
kids. Y'all
don't.
don't
They
want to put
don't.
money on them. Y'all don't.
Let's
Y'all just gotta
let's
what is
start
it
naming
called
the
when
facts.
they
Let's start.
a, a breeding fetish? That's what it is. That's all it is. Y'all got a breeding fetish.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
It's fucking
weird.
weird. Cause like,
It's
let's
so
say
weird.
let's say I have a kid. All right, well, I ain't want the kid, but according to the law, I'm forced to have this child. All right, fine. If I knew that once I get, let's say I have a partner. Anyway, we don't gotta go into that. But anyway, let's say I have a partner and I have this kid. We didn't want this kid, but we have to have this kid. All right, fine. If I knew that once I have this baby, first off, let's start from the very beginning. Having a child in itself, the whole delivery process, that's thousands of dollars in the hospital. I got to pay for that. Then on top of that, let's say the child grows up. Who gonna pay for childcare? Childcare is through the fucking roof, and no one's helping out mothers to help that. You can't have a single person income unless you want that person to fucking work themselves literally in the fucking ground. So both people have to work. Who's gonna take care of the child when I'm at work? Like,
and who can you trust? Because it also goes into the fact that our ecosystem is broken. Like you got all of these like people who are supposed to take care of kids that are abusing them. Like you taking your kids to daycare and they might get abused or whatever. Like it's so broken.
And on top of that, it's like, all right, let's say, all right, they're past childcare. They're in school now. Niggas don't got, there's literally children that the only meals that they eat are at school. They're trying to get rid of school lunches. I don't know if y'all heard. They trying to get rid the shitty ass food that they already serve. They're trying to get rid of that.
Yeah, they're trying to get all the funding for low income schools and private schools. They're trying to cut the funding for all of it.
Like they're trying to get rid of people.
I saw
sound like they trying to get rid of
make
people.
It make sense. It's like, okay, y'all are getting rid of our way, because at this point, I'm like, nobody should be having sex. Like real shit. Absolutely nobody should be having sex at this point.
You know that's
if y'all
just
want
slow
that,
down.
just say that. Like, if y'all want that from us, just say that. Don't have sex.
And then
I mean, it's not gonna work, but like
that we need. And it's like, but if you're getting rid of our resources, how are you gonna sit here and take away everything that we would need to keep from having kids, but then you want us to have more kids, but not any resources? What the fuck?
They don't want us to have more kids. Let's be clear. They don't want me, you, and Seye to have more kids.
Oh, of course not.
They want Amanda, Brittany,
and Taylor
to have more kids, not us.
But not even that. Well, it is that, but it's that they don't want them to just have kids. They want them to have boys.
True.
White males. That is what they want.
They don't like women, except for to do the stuff that they don't want to do or they can't do.
They're getting to a point of trying to make it where they can use dead women's bodies as incubators for babies at this point. Like that's basically what they're doing. What?
Oh my God.
I said they're basically trying to make it where they use women's bodies as incubators, because there are a few cases where women needed abortions, you know, so they don't die. But they were saying that even if the woman dies, if the
woman's life is at risk, yep, they're still gonna keep the baby and let the woman die. Yep.
Exactly. And they're, even if they have to use her as an incubator, they are willing to do that. So I'm like, okay, so this is just a real life version of American Horror Stories, basically.
This is sick.
You said American Horror Stories.
This is sick. Black Mirror.
Handmaid's Tale. Fucking Handmaid's Tale. Legitimately. That show is very traumatic.
There was an episode.
We're gonna have to find us an island and go up on there.
Man,
but it was an episode.
I've been about that for a long time.
American Horror Stories like that.
What you said, Royal?
I said, man, I've been about that for a long time. I'm trying to get out before they really trying to take us back. Every time I hear somebody say that stupid stuff, oh, I miss the way things used to be.
You don't never hear a black person saying that.
Because people
you hear black men say it.
Black men.
Oh,
yeah. I was about to say they're inadequate. They're
just along with us.
We're living in a society where women are killing it in almost every industry, almost every field, and they hate it. it's like y'all are doing better than us. We can't have this. So it's like a panic. Oh, how do we get control back? We take us back in time. And it is pathetic. It's actually pathetic and it's sick.
But it's weird to hear Black men say that, because I'm like, y'all gonna be
It's
in the
not.
trash just along with us.
They
Y'all gonna be in the
will.
They're
trash
gonna
with
be
us.
part of their own demise with that.
They're
Like,
gonna be
y'all don't
our
see
downfall.
y'all don't see
They don't
that
care
with
because
this.
they're men. They know they have that one little thing above us. Because as a man, you have at least this 1% of privilege, and that's all that they need. That's all they want. They want more than that, but as long as they got that over us, that's all that matters to them.
And that
That's
is sick
sick.
too.
That's sick.
Like the slave master is so ingrained in here.
In their brain, yep.
They've really convinced them that we are the enemy, that we are the reason why they are not where they're supposed to be. And it's because of us, because we want to get out and do stuff on our own. We want to be independent. So we're the downfall of the community because
that's why I hate
we're
the
doing
manosphere,
better than
dog.
them.
I'm sorry. I hate the manosphere.
The
Away
way
with the
their
manosphere.
brains work is because they can't have power outside. So they want to have power inside, but they can't have power inside if we're not, quote unquote, letting them lead.
And what is that?
So
If
it's our
somebody
fault.
got to
It's
let you
our fault
lead,
for
you
not
ain't no
listening.
leader. I'm sorry. If somebody
Facts.
got to do something to allow you to take a position that you feel like you should have, you're not meant for that.
Either you a
Facts.
leader, either you're a leader or you're not. It's as
Exactly.
simple as that.
Period.
That's because being a leader to them is not actually being a leader, it's being a dictator. They
Yeah,
confuse the
controlling
definition.
everything.
It's so sickening.
So just for control, humanity and their obsession with power and control,
It's wild.
it's always going to be our downfall. Always.
It's
I don't care
wild.
how many times you kill everybody off and start over. It is always going to be like that because it's human nature. Somebody always wants to be the one in control. When are you going to realize that that's not how it's supposed to work? We're supposed to have an ecosystem. We're supposed to have things set into place where we're all working together and getting things done. One person making the decisions or one person being the face and then people behind the scenes making and one group of people. It's never going to work. Like white people too. I want y'all to understand it's never going to work with just y'all leading things because y'all are not everybody in the world. Y'all are not the voice for everybody. In order for
Weird
this to
they
work,
have to use us as the blueprint. Every person of color is the blueprint, and yet somehow they think they make it better, but they don't.
How you make it better? Like we literally living in your failure every day. All of these failures that we're having in this country is because of y'all. We living in it every day. So how do y'all make it better? I don't get it.
They want
all of us and see how well this country functions or this society or this
it'll
world
fall apart. It'll collapse
immediately.
I don't understand when they're gonna understand that they came from us. Like
they won't. That ego. That ego gonna kill them every time.
They're not gonna understand. They are legit mutations. They will never understand.
They in denial. They don't even believe that at all.
I mean, unless we actually get to a point where we do decide to go ahead and make their nightmares come true.
Oh,
I feel like we should just go
disappear. Some nightmares. Shit.
Their biggest fear is that we're gonna do exactly what they think we're gonna do is the shit that they've done. And at some point, I feel like that probably should happen.
Yeah, for real. Like, let's make your fears come true.
I feel like that too, because I feel like we've tried this peaceful stuff. We've tried all of the
far too long.
Forgiveness and all of that stuff, and it's not working.
Black people.
Yes,
right.
Sorry,
and it's not just Martin. Black people; it's everybody.
Oh, hey, Martin, we gotta go to MLK way. I'm sorry, the Malcolm X way.
The Malcolm X way. We tried peace.
It don't work.
We tried to get along. We tried to do all of that.
Let's be monsters. I'm sorry. I'm ready. Sick of this shit.
I'm sick of it too. And it's also this too, you have so many people on the internet talking about wanting things to change and wanting to be the change in the world and stuff. But when stuff like this happens, they be quiet. And I'm not one of those people that look for certain people to speak for us or nothing like that. But my whole thing is, when are we, and I'm talking about Black people specifically, or people in color specifically, going to stop paying attention to what they do and do our own thing? At this point, I ain't gonna say I don't care about what's going on. I care about what's going on, but I want us to care more about doing our own thing. Like, let's get together and fix things. And I ain't talk about it on the public platform. We can have these conversations off the platform so they won't know what's going on. But then that's hard too, because you got some people who will infiltrate. They'll be in there and then they'll go and tell them the plan, because they have that slave mentality.
Have you started watching the Tupac documentary, Dear Mama? That was literally,
I wanted to start. I haven't started yet.
It is so good, but it breaks down. That was the actual downfall of the Black Panthers. It was people that looked just like us coming in there and telling other people like, do you understand that you're working against your own good? Like, what?
For a little bit of power, you're never going to be accepted by these people. They're never going to accept you. Never. You're going to be betraying your people for what?
Absolutely fucking nothing.
Ain't no reward for that. Just because you not the nigga on top, you shouldn't be. And that's why you shouldn't be. You can't even be trusted. It's crazy.
I hate it here so much. Like, I hate it here.
Girl,
get me off this planet.
Shoot, what the song is? Earth is ghetto. I want to leave.
I'm telling you, that's why the people from other planets haven't come here, because they looking for 5 seconds. That's why on Avengers Age of Ultron, it was funny to me because he went on the internet. He went on the internet for 5 minutes. It was just like, nope, everybody needs to die.
It's like, no, dead ass. You said 5 minutes. That man saw all of what he needed to see in 10 seconds and was like, yep, extinction. Like,
I would have the same mindset too if that was me.
Age of Ultron is my favorite.
But I do really and truly feel like even if that happens, like I be saying that we just need a new crop of people, just kill everybody and let's start over. But even then, it's gonna end up being the same way all the time.
Do you think that it's possible to have a real genuine change without violence?
Nope.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I was thinking like it has to be some kind of war, and the people that are like-minded like us are gonna have to win. Yeah. In order for the change to really happen.
I don't think it's ever gonna happen peacefully. I think it's gonna happen. And I feel like a lot of the reason why we don't go nowhere as a community is because we keep waiting for that. We keep waiting for them to be like, all right, we care about y'all now. Like, let's sit down and let's talk about what y'all want from us, what y'all want in order for y'all to be happy. And that's never going to happen because these people are terrified of us ever getting what they have, because that means that we're going to exceed them in anything.
That's people in power's biggest fear is that you're gonna do better than me. It's like, isn't that the purpose though? I want every generation to improve steadily.
Right.
Exactly. You're literally regression. You're literally holding back your whole society because you don't want nobody to be over you. You don't want nobody to be better than you. That is sick.
It's beyond sick.
As if there's not going to be any consequences for them for that. Like it's so stupid to me. So that too, I don't want to bring no kids in this world neither, because it's like,
oh hell no, I already decided against it. Ain't no going back. I'm not like.
I told you before, Boonie. There was a time where I really felt really bad that I didn't have any kids. I'm 36. I'm like, there was a time, but I'm like,
oh wow,
thank
God. I didn't know that you're that. Well, I don't want to say that old. Like I'm far.
No,
behind,
go ahead. You can say it. I'm an OG out here.
You just turned 36?
No, I turned 36 in September. I'll be 37 this year.
Okay. 37. What was it? 4 years? Okay.
Still,
Yeah.
we
All
gonna
right.
be
Okay.
33.
Yeah. In a month. Sorry. Yeah, in a month.
I got a couple months after you, but yeah, 33. I don't like that number.
I don't.
I don't like that number.
And everybody keeps saying to me, "Oh, time's ticking. Time's ticking." Like it ain't ticking for me.
Right.
Cause I'm not having no kids. So I got all the time in the world. Stop playing with me.
Even if you do, like, what's so bad about having kids when you're older? People be acting like it's like you don't have kids by 30, like
No, I mean I
it's
get
taboo.
their plight. I think it's about when you're raising kids, obviously like we're not gonna keep these bodies, or our bodies aren't gonna be the same when we have them. So nobody wants to be running after a child when you like walking with a cane and some shit. I get it, but still no.
You were
It doesn't
not that
matter because
old
I'm
to be
not having no
walking with
kids.
a cane, bro.
No, I
My
mean
mom told me that at one point, because I think I was like 22 or something, and she was like, if you see a man in his 30s with no kids, that's a problem. There's something wrong with him. And I'm like, why? Why is that?
People be
Why is it
saying
a
that all
problem?
the time. It's
I don't
Because
crazy.
that's
understand that logic.
apparently that's how their logic was like for the longest. Like if you haven't had kids by 30 or you don't have your life together by 30, then obviously it's something wrong with you instead of you just being careful not to do those things.
hey, I
Like
know something wrong with
literally,
me. It's
the
fine.
reason why we don't have children, like the reason why I don't have kids is because I don't want them. Like I'm literally
I
doing this
don't
on
either.
I'm doing this on purpose. It's not by mistake.
Yeah,
Like it's not
right.
happening by mistake. Like this is done on purpose.
Yeah, it's for me. It's a culmination of things. It's I don't want to bring a child into this world where I know that they're gonna experience nothing but suffering. But on top of that,
Right.
it's like I have an illness. I don't want to pass that on. That shit gonna die with me. I'm not doing that with them.
I don't want to pass mine on either. You know, they working on like another cure, whatever, gene therapy.
Yeah,
But my whole
you're
thing is it's not right. If it's not 100% getting rid of any form of sickle cell, that means sickle cell trait. To me, it's not a cure. It's not.
I
I'm
feel
okay
like
with
why
getting
would you
cured the
push that?
natural way. What you say,
what?
Van?
Oh no, it's like why would people push that when they know it's a possibility that either you or the child, I mean, it's a possibility, period, with a woman being pregnant, but y'all legit have something that can be passed on to the kids or that could cause harm to you in that process itself. Why would you tell somebody your time is ticking to have kids and you know they have
And they
this
have an
illness? Like
illness.
what make that make
People have
sense?
told me that they might cure having a baby might cure my illness. And I
What?
was like,
You said,
do
excuse me, what?
you
What?
they said having a baby might cure your illness. Never know. You know, you get pregnant, you might start feeling better. And I'm like,
Okay,
do y'all
they're
understand what sickle
delusional.
cell
They're
is?
delusional.
Like, do y'all understand what that really is?
They don't, and you know they don't.
To say that, like, that's totally not what's going to happen.
That's why we need to
Like
do that episode
We
that we were talking
do.
about.
Because people be crazy.
about
They
what?
just be saying wild stuff about the hereditary diseases and stuff like that, and like people not taking those things into consideration before they
They
have
don't care.
children.
They don't care. They just want because people are selfish. And having a
They
child,
are.
I don't care.
There's
Right.
no unselfish reason for having a
For having
child.
a child, it's fully selfish. Oh, I want a mini
100%.
me. I want someone who will love me unconditionally. Just because you give birth to somebody does not mean that they're gonna love you unconditionally.
or
Like,
that they or that they
why would you even put
should.
that? Why would you even put that pressure on that child? That's selfish as fuck. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give birth to this entity, and I'm gonna with the intention that they're gonna love me forever. First off, what makes you think that they're gonna love you, regardless of whether you're their mother or not, or their parent or not? Are you a likable person?
Are you a good person?
I
Should you
think
even
Facts.
there's
have
people that
kids?
are the parents that children have gone no contact with or learning it the hard way.
Bruh. Like,
Because I
I
don't
know
gotta
my
be around you. Or the legacy. Like I want somebody to carry on my
yeah.
legacy. And these people,
And
like
what legacy is that?
these
What the
men
fuck?
specifically that are having kids with all of these women, you're creating broken homes.
Nick Cannon. Nick fucking Cannon.
But for your legacy.
I don't
Like
even know what does
how
that
does
even
that
mean.
fit? Right. How does that fit into your legacy?
Yeah, you have a legacy of not spending time with your children. That's the legacy you want to
Not being there
pass
people think
down.
their
intentionally.
people
I
think
feel
their
like
name
you don't
going
know
on means a lot.
Yeah, having my
Name
last name. What does your
names
last
don't
name
mean shit.
mean? It literally
you know
doesn't
you can
mean
legally
anything.
change your name to whatever name you want it to be, right?
Oh yeah, no, I knew. I'm looking into changing mine because I don't want nothing to do with my father at this
I
point.
feel like if you're not the
Fuck that nigga.
ancestor that your generation start calling after, you weren't that good of a person. You couldn't have been that good of a person.
You
Uh,
aren't. Like people be thinking that they're more important than they actually are. Like you're like, who you think you are?
that's what I made those Instagram stories on purpose. Sorry, Royal. I had made a series of videos on my Instagram talking about how humans are very self-absorbed.
They
Um,
are.
but yeah, we're very self-absorbed. Like what are you talking about? Like passing your name down. How do you know that your child's gonna want to keep that name? What makes you so
What
important?
what in your name, in your history, makes somebody want to stick with it? Like, what is it that you've done that's so great that needs to be passed on? Because if you
Facts.
dig deep into the shit, like your family
How
did
Cause
some
many
fucked
times
up
would
stuff.
all
money
they be
actually go
doing is
through them?
laying pipe and getting pipe. Talk about
But
some legacy.
how many people with actual money have kids though?
Up. Facts.
It
Facts.
be
Facts. Facts.
Oh shit!
Mm.
I saw
Like,
a post on Facebook that said the worst torture you can do to your kids is have them when you're poor, like bring them into the world when you're poor. And people were so offended. Like that's not the worst thing you can do. Being poor is not fun. It's
It
not fun.
exactly.
And there's several other things that come along with being important, not just the not
Yeah,
having money part. You know,
because
childcare.
that's all
You know,
they want to think about.
Having enough food on the table, enough nutritious food. Like, bruh,
Cause
what?
when cause when you start talking about it, like money not everything, kids need this and that, and y'all still not giving it to them.
I'm kind of 50-50 with it because it's like, yeah, no, you don't want to bring a child into poverty, but when you look at how kids who grew up with money act, it's like, they don't, because it's like once they get money, it's like they don't have anything to teach them, and it's like they still have to learn some shit. They still need to be good
Right.
people. And it seems like people who come out of poverty have a little bit more character than those who were born in.
Into money. Yeah. It's like
That's true, but
when you give
people
when
just
you
terrible all around. Poor people and
facts.
rich people.
People are terrible. Like in general. Human beings are garbage.
They're
Like
really just terrible all around. You can be born into money and be a good person. You could be born without money and be trash.
facts. Mm, mm.
It's kind of like it's inevitable to just be terrible for a lot of people
not
for
not
this
it's
world.
inevitable.
That's the energy that we're passing around in this society.
yep.
It's so sickening. I hate it. Like I said, I hate it here. I
Not
hate
gonna
it.
Integrity
lie, I
is
really
not.
gonna be sitting there looking at God like, sir, who are you? What kind of person thing are
Girl,
you for us to be
that's
made
what
like
let's
you?
get into it. Let's
And
get into it.
A
because
sadist,
everything or
sadist.
everybody says that humans are trash. Everything, everybody, whether in the spiritual realm, this realm, whatever, says humans are trash. Humans say humans are trash. So if we are that bad, what are you? How bad are you?
That's isn't that what I
That
said? That's what
hey,
I said in
and we
my
made in
fucking
the
story.
image. You say we made in the image.
That's what,
See,
isn't
look
that
how
what I
this world has started over and it keeps ending the same
said? Same
fucking
way.
way.
And it's like, and that's what's so funny about religion, because I'm like, humans are so bent. Like I said, this shows how self-absorbed we are. They're like, okay, well, if I do good and blah blah blah, God's gonna give me and let me into his house. What makes you think he want to spend time with you? The fuck?
And
He
you know
made
what's
so many.
you know what's crazy about that? The Bible says you're not supposed to be good to go to heaven. You're not supposed to be good for salvation. You're supposed to be
Supposed to
good
be good
just to
because
be
it's good,
good.
right?
Because you just to be good.
Exactly. And some people don't understand it. They will say you have to do this, this, that, and the third to get. And it's like if that's not your character, if that's just you doing
Exactly.
something to get kudo points,
He's
that's
gonna see
not
right.
your
They're gonna see
character.
right
He
through it.
knows your heart. If he knows your
And that's
heart, he knows
manipulative
you're
too.
only doing
Y'all
it
trying to
for
manipulate
you're just doing
God.
it for the image.
It's
Y'all
like
trying to manipulate
this.
God into letting y'all come
This
live with him.
this man has made so many creatures, but we're so self-absorbed to think that he want to spend time with us. What? Bruh. Okay. Yeah. That's why I'm like, what? Like, yeah, he's gonna wanna bring us into his house. Nigga, no. If I
God
was God,
probably
I
ain't
wouldn't
even in heaven.
want
He ain't never said he was there. Might not even be there.
he got a second house, like shit.
That nigga got a second house. All the kids
He's
that
staying in
came
the
and
guest
lived with
house.
him got snuck out. And nigga got he probably down there in hell with Satan, like
Chilling.
nigga.
I mean, considering all the shit that he's done as
Y'all
far as
should watch Good
creating us,
Omens.
he
Huh? What you
Y'all should
said,
watch
Ray?
Good Omens. That shit is funny. That shit is
Oh,
so
that's that thing
good
you
and
sent
funny.
me.
Good Omens, and y'all should read the book All Tomorrows. Like, just entertain the thought. It's funny to me. All
I'm gonna watch it.
Tomorrows is good,
Because you
and
did
Good
send me a clip
Omens
of it.
is just.
that's the video. The video I put in the Marco is the video with Steven Crowder.
Yeah, because
Mm-mm.
they got a lot of faith that they about to be in heaven, and it's funny to me. He probably not
They're gonna
even
be
there.
real surprised when they get sent right back here.
The fuck? Like,
I
I
thought
don't
I
get
was done. Hell no, go back.
it.
Because everybody wants this like utopia, this Eden. Everybody want this like peaceful place for everybody to live or whatever. But like, do we really deserve that?
Nope,
Exactly.
Do we
we
even
don't.
deserve peace? Look how terrible things are now. And have always been, if we being real. It's never been a place like that.
My question has always been when it says, when you ask, like, do we deserve it? And then you think about kids, we always say that they're innocent because they don't know, they only know what they're being taught, blah, blah, blah. But then they say you're born sinners. And it's like, make up your mind. Either they innocent or they
Right.
born sinners. Which one is it?
Right. Because they have that like little rule that like kid before they turn 12, like they are innocent or whatever. But after they hit 12, then they are responsible for their own sins. And I'm like, I ain't never read that in the Bible. Who told y'all that? And I done read that book so many times.
A lot of stuff has been passed down from generations that, like,
Yeah.
that's what the guy I follow on TikTok, where he talks about it. The Bible is not univocal. It's not one voice, because the Bible has several contradictions, and you can tell by what time period and what's being said. It goes with the times. The whole Leviticus stuff,
Exactly.
that was seen as
Simply,
unacceptable at the time.
simply because God Himself or themselves did not write it. Why are we believing this book that's not Him? I don't get
Because
it.
they really believe it. Like I had an argument with who was that? Probably was my ex about the Bible and who wrote it. And it was like, no, yeah, it was like the one that had invited, because I invited one of my exes to come on the podcast. He was basically saying God God wrote the Bible or whatever. I'm like, no, God didn't. God never did anything except tell people what to do. So you think he
was inspired by
he
God
wrote
though.
a
It's like
book? He didn't write that junk. Somebody
Watching
wrote
us
some stuff
as
down that
time.
they figured he would want. Like, God want us to do this. I'm write this junk and put his name on it. Like he co-authored it or something. I know he be in heaven like every time people like God said this, God did this. I ain't never said that. I ain't never did that.
There is nothing you can do to convince me that we are not just some little rock on somebody's shirt that has no idea that we exist. Like there is nothing that can convince me that's not what's going.
Bro,
Like
on
on the
somebody's shirt, man.
yes, like on the Grinch movie, how it's snowing and stuff, and then they zoom in on that one itty bitty snowflake, and
I
there's a
know what you're
whole
talking
fucking
about.
world in
you
there.
got you
There is nothing that
you
can
got me
convince me
thinking.
that's not what's going on
You
right
got me
now. Like
thinking of Men in Black, the Men in Black movie where the universe was around the cat's neck. Like,
Oh yeah, I remember
exactly.
that. Oh yeah,
that's
bro.
There
us
is
just sitting.
nothing that you can do to convince me that that's not what's going on, because
Because
we are in one planet, one galaxy, which is in a million other galaxies, which is in another fucking there is nothing you can do to convince me that we're not on a
bro,
fucking rock
that
on
you know
somebody's
what?
shirt.
I think about that a lot too. Like God creating us and don't even know it. Like us just existing, or God like just creating something, or either created and forgot. He didn't know. He didn't know. Like stuff just be happening because he a God or they're a God. And God was just sitting down eating some chips one day, and like a crumb fell on his shirt, and it created a whole world of people.
Check
We
back
are
again.
the scuff
And
of
they don't
his
even
shoe, and he's
know.
just like, oh, what's that? He is watching us on a fucking incubator system, just like, oh, what's growing now?
Let me see what they getting up to today. Hey, they ain't had a war in a couple of years. I feel one coming.
There's an episode on what is that show called on Netflix? Fuck, is it Love, Death, and Robots? Some shit like that,
Ooh,
where they open up
I've
their
been in
freezer.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna watch
just
that.
watched that. I
Ooh,
just
I'm gonna
watched that
Yeah,
watch
they
episode.
open up the freezer and like how fast the world goes, how the time goes. I'm like, that's us. That's
Bro,
us.
I'm
There's
watching that
nothing you
junk
can do to
tonight.
convince me otherwise. That's
I'm
us.
watching that today. We gotta review that, Royal.
Huh?
We gotta review that.
Definitely.
Cause I
And
came across it, I
Black
was like,
Mirror
"Oh, I
too.
gotta watch this." Oh yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it. But yeah, I've seen it before, but I'm gonna watch it again.
My favorite episode of that Black Mirror still is Striking Vipers, the one with Anthony Mackie when it was
Yep,
on the video game.
my favorite one too. I'm like,
That is so funny to me.
cause how many people would really be doing that?
A lot.
A
A
Me,
lot.
lot.
Me too, man. I'll be right there.
me.
What you
I'll be
mean we could
right
do it on the
there
video game for real?
and actually feel it. Oh, bro,
Man.
all the time.
I have a
Y'all
whole
be,
other
bro,
fucking
y'all
life.
wouldn't be getting no podcasts.
The
All
funny
the time.
part was the end to me where his wife was just like okay with it, like go ahead, I'm gonna go out with my friend.
Right, like whatever. I would feel the same way. I would feel the same way. What are you telling me that for? That's your business.
Right.
What you want for dinner tonight? That Boonie. Seye, I bought you something. I might not reveal it. I think I would just send it to you for your birthday, since your birthday coming up. I bought all y'all something and I never sent it. Bought all some things. Sky one is my favorite though. I ain't gonna show you yours, but this one is my favorite. The Sailor Moon pocketbook.
Oh.
I love it so much. I ain't gonna show you yours. I want it to be a surprise, and I want you to open it on Marco
Oh, I will.
when I sent it. But I'm I'm gonna add. The reason why I ain't sending it because I want to do y'all some like gift bags. I have to get Royal something. He just added me to a list, and I don't think he been putting nothing on it because I haven't been getting no notifications.
I don't be wanting nothing.
And I get
Boonie
I get notifications from Van all the time. Like, oh, she done add something else. Let me go see what she
be
added.
forgetting that people are on that. So when I be adding shit, it'd be like 2, 3 in the morning, and then I'm like, oh damn, like I hear Mundo phone go off, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. I get notifications,
and I get one
I just
all
be
the time. Royal do not put nothing on his. I'm like, why is he not adding nothing? I'm like, Van be on it. He don't never put
I can't even think of what I want as far as stuff like that.
Boonie is the perfect example of a thought that I had earlier today. I went to go get some food, and don't ask me what made this thought come across my mind. I never know. But anyway, so I was like, men be so worried that they woman is like looking at another man or interested in another man. And I like, y'all need to be looking at that bitch best friend because I guarantee she's spoiling her like you would never ever in your life do. You will never spoil her the way her best friend gonna spoil her.
Especially
like,
not
ever.
me. And nigga, don't make this a competition because you ain't winning.
Like, gonna take a big fat L.
You gonna be mad at me. You gonna be mad at me. You gonna think that I'm in love with her or him. You gonna say that's not normal. Like she got feelings for you, and I don't. I just love them, and I love giving people gifts.
I just love people don't understand.
If y'all look at my phone and see the stuff I have put together, like I put stuff together in my head, in my phone for Boonie, for Sky, for Seye, for India, for Unia. I have like everybody got their own little section of shit. I just want to just blow money on and just be like, here you go.
Oh.
They're like, what's this for? I don't know. Just take it.
Me too, bro. I can't wait. Like people like want to get money for a different reason. I cannot wait, bro. I'm gonna be spoiling y'all so much. I'm gonna be flying y'all all over the place. I cannot wait.
I'm trying to fly y'all out. Get y'all flued out like shit.
Right.
Flued out.
I can't wait.
See, we talking like massages, book massages, the trips,
that's the type of person
alcohol,
I am too,
the food, everything.
Yo, yeah. I can't wait. We got this though.
Yeah, right. We definitely got it.
All right, so what's the topic at hand tonight, y'all?
Okay, the first topic is the lost art of foreplay.
I hit up. Is that ice? What is that? Oh, I thought that was ice. I was like, damn, where you get these big chunks from?
No, it is
ice.
God damn, where you get them big chunks from?
Bro, I just bought an ice tray.
The ice maker.
Like this, the ice is like the ice like this. I just bought it because I want to eat it. I want to eat ice. And I don't want to share the ice tray with everybody else in the house, so I bought my own.
I need to do that. We haven't had ice in a while because I don't be using tap water, but I'll just use the bottled water.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the bottled water, but I ain't want to share my ice. And I'm putting my name on it. Don't touch it.
Don't touch my shit.
I hit up Layla. She said she's not in podcast ready. So.
Okay. So you're not podcast ready.
So
shit, I look like a goddamn.
This is a different podcast. Like we don't come as you are. This is what church is supposed to be.
Facts.
Big facts. I literally attended a church when I was younger, one of the churches, and a girl came in there with a short skirt. And you should have seen all the mothers in the church converge on her so fast. And I'm just like, what happened to come as you are?
Right.
Oh, baby, you gotta cover up.
Cover up for what? I would have been like, if these niggas looking at me, then y'all need to talk to them. And I would have sat down. Because you know about the baby, we do nothing. And my mama would have been right behind me. Exactly.
My husband was like, you don't wear jeans to church. I said, since when? Because every single church I've ever been in, people have worn jeans. So I was confused, like, since when?
Exactly. But they do got those churches that have dress codes, like the Holiness Church, and you gotta wear long skirts or dresses.
They
do got dress codes.
They can go to hell with that. Sorry.
They got mad back in the day at Fred Hammond for having on jeans and t-shirts on the album cover.
I remember
like, nigga, like what?
Bro, the Bible ain't never said that about no dress code. Y'all just be making stuff up as y'all go.
They be making stuff up as they go.
They, as in the men and the women, were wearing what we call now dresses to church. So what are you talking about?
Right.
They really want to talk about it. David danced in the street until his clothes fell off in the Bible.
Talk about it, because you could tell they don't read the Bible though.
At all.
People be like, I read it. No, you don't. You sit there and listen to what your preacher preach about. And most of the time they talk about the same thing every Sunday. They talk about the same thing.
And then the good churches are getting really like talked about so bad, like Transformation Church. What's his name? Mike Todd. I actually like him. Like,
I haven't seen him.
But he had an Easter celebration or whatever, and everybody was just going off of how it's the devil. It was too flashy. It was just like
that's what they do at church.
Right.
Yeah, I just remember my grandma, who was holier than thou, or tries to be, posted a status about like when my kids was at her house and whatever. I didn't pay no attention until like I realized how long it was, and it like kept popping up on my timeline. So I just like skimmed it a little bit. And she was talking about how when the kids were at her house, she told them, because they wanted her to read them a book. So they had picked out one of the books that's in their playroom. And she was like, she had the same book as a kid. She knew the story, from front to back, yada, yada, yada. And when she started reading it, he was talking about witchcraft and warlocks. So she told the kids, go pick another book. And it was talking about the same thing. And she was like, the devil trying to get us. And I'm like, ma'am, you just told me to get some oil and put it on my husband's head every night and do a prayer.
Is that not witchcraft? Like,
that not fucking witchcraft?
That'd be killing me. Like,
what? Satan get a bad rep. Because the man didn't really do much of nothing, bro. Human beings have done way worse than this man.
And then nigga got kicked out.
They be dragging him. They be blaming everything on him. The devil is, that nigga has done nothing. All of this time that we've been here, he has literally shown nothing. That's like them anime characters that everybody be saying the strongest and you never see them fight. Like, how do I know? How do I know this nigga the strongest? I ain't never saw him do nothing.
It'd be funny to me when you talk to like older black people when they first thing is see something bad happen. Oh, that ain't nothing but the devil. It's like, but y'all blaming that on the wrong. That's the fucked up person. That's you. Them. You did whoever that. Did it.
Crazy. Blaming everything on that man. He ain't did nothing but disobey because he wanted to make his own choices.
He probably out here like, damn, just minding my damn business. Like,
right. Y'all out here killing people. Y'all killing people. Y'all praying on people's downfalls. Literally praying to God on people's downfalls.
That I don't understand.
I had somebody tell me that the reason I was going through the things I was going through is because I don't believe in the Bible. I was like, but you're literally going over the same shit. You're literally going through the same shit that I'm going through. So and you read the Bible every day and go to church every Sunday. Right, so what's your excuse?
Not because you don't believe in the Bible.
Because I said something about crystals and they was like, oh no, that brings bad energy, that brings the devil along, and that's probably why you're going through all that stuff. I said, but you just 10 seconds ago told me you go through the same thing that I was just describing. You just told me you go through the same thing.
So what are you doing wrong at this point?
You know what kills me though is like, we believe in Christianity, but the white man brought that shit to Africa. Like,
it's a lot of things they brought that we incorporate in our culture.
And that's so crazy. Because I was talking to my mother the other day about this shit. So, history lesson. I think I mentioned this to y'all, but Royal, I'm Nigerian, by the way. So my last name legitimately, word for word, means the god of iron, which means that we believed in a god of iron.
Right.
So but we believe in Christianity. Like we're Christians. So I'm like, I looked at my mom, I'm like, y'all don't see this as weird? Like our name literally historically means that we believed in another God, and now all of a sudden we're Christians, right?
It's
like
one God.
how does that
now
how does that
everybody's
make any
monotheistic. Yeah.
I'm
No
like,
sense.
what? No, it's just back in the day. And I'm like, she tried to give me some old bullshit answer. I'm like, all right, oh, okay, lady.
It's
I
a
got
lot
it.
of it's a lot of things that's in our culture that suggest that stuff, but they just be ignoring it. Like, that's not how it was.
People will
At
literally
all.
try to argue with you about that too, though. Now they're literally trying to rewrite history, saying, "Oh, it was in Africa back then. It's proof here." It's like
What?
even if you try to say that somebody did bring it, people were not listening to them.
No, it wasn't. It definitely was white people why y'all believe in this stuff. It
Exactly.
definitely was.
If you understand,
Rosa Parks was just a woman that stood up for what she believed in, as far as staying in her seat instead of it being a race thing.
Yeah.
What? Hold on, wait, what?
Yep. I heard that.
Say it again.
I saw that somewhere. They're trying to change the way that history is written in the books. In school, they're trying to take away, critical race theory, but they're also trying to change the way the stories are told. So when it comes down to race, as far as Rosa Parks, instead of it being that, she was a black woman that was on the bus and a white man told her to get up, yada, yada, it's going to be more along the lines of she was just a woman standing up for what she believed in, as far as staying in where she wanted to stay.
What? That's trash.
That don't even make sense, because if she was standing up for what she believed in, it had to be some kind of like movement or something going on, right?
Yeah, why didn't she want to stay in her seat? What was
the?
I don't like the fact that
like a gender thing.
Go
I
ahead,
don't like
Roy.
the fact that the story is not even told the way it's supposed to yet. Like they don't even tell the fact that she was chosen for that.
Yeah, because it wasn't even her.
It was the 15-year-old girl who
and that many people did that before she did
exactly.
did her.
She was just the face of it.
Yep,
She was just the face.
Right.
That's so crazy.
But at the same time, I say this, with the laws and stuff going on, especially when it comes to schools and the things that they're trying to take out of the history book, all that does is leave it up to the parents to teach their kids what actually happened. And a lot of parents are mad because they don't want to, but I feel like this, you should anyway. You've been to school. You know what they teach us in school. They do not teach us the right thing. They never did. So this is nothing new. They leave a lot of stuff out of the books. There's a lot of things that we had to learn once we got out of school or learn outside of school. So it's really no difference. It's just now you really got to teach your kids that. That's got to be a part of you raising your kids now as a Black parent or a parent of color.
That's adding another. I mean, you should always, like I said, teach your kids extra what stuff that is outside of their school, but it's like they're putting, that's another job that a Black person barely has time for, that because we as Black people, we have so many things going on in our head at the same time. Now you're just adding another thing to the plate. Like, bruh, at least
but at the same time, I just wouldn't be able to trust them to do it, to teach my child certain things.
That should already but they're not even teaching them that. Like, even we know that they ain't teach us shit, but y'all making it more not shit. Like, that's it's so wild.
You have to know how to teach too, though. Like, you can't just spew the words that spew the books, spew the history. You have to actually know how to teach that child in a way they'll understand it and actually take it with them, instead of just be like, oh, I didn't understand it, I just heard you say it, and then like they don't get it till they're like 45.
Right. But that's another thing too, like I've said this before, I feel like when it comes to raising kids and stuff like that, the reason why a lot of stuff be missing in our families is because they put us in a position where we don't even have time to do that stuff. We can't do it because your mama gotta work all day. Like, if she's a single parent. Like, yeah, like they do. So of course they're making it harder for us to raise our kids. So things, so we'll never, because I feel like our generation has started correcting stuff. So now this is adding an extra layer. So now y'all got more to do to break these generational curses. Now we know why they're doing it, but I'm just saying, I just would never leave it up to them to teach my child anything.
Right.
Like in my mind, school is just a daycare. Like the kids go to while you at work. They come home.
Right.
Like I would homeschool if I had kids, because
You got to be careful with that, because in some states they're required to go to school. Like there is no such thing as homeschooling.
You said, excuse me, what?
That's crazy. But even if that's the thing too, I just would kind of have something set up to just do with my kids
because they want to indoctrinate our children. So,
and that's crazy too, because they supposedly have programs that you can use. So that still would be your kids going to school. They're just not going to the building.
That's what school was made for. It was made to make workers while the other workers are at work.
Talk about it.
That's definitely true. But then they ain't even been efficient in teaching us how to be workers.
Nah, deadass.
What trade do you actually learn? Like you don't even
right.
They don't even cater to their strengths as a kid, like
at all.
No, they see that's over time that was changed, because at least back then it was kids taking classes, like they would teach the girls home ec so they can learn how to cook and stay at home and blah blah blah. But and then I guess the guys had like wood shop and shit like that, so they could learn how to be like welders or whatever. So they had those things curated, but again, that's when we decided that like home ec is sexist, and having these separate things are they're specific to gender, and so they got rid of it. When they didn't get rid of it.
When I was in school, everybody was in home ec, girls and boys, and shop. We all had it.
Man, I wish I had home ec in my school. I would have been so happy to be in that class.
Home ec
that
was
shit
amazing.
Was fire.
Learn how to cook and sew.
Yeah.
Crochet.
I had to learn that stuff from home though. So I know how to sew and
I
cook.
loved it. I loved that junk. They don't do it no more, I think. I think they stopped it.
The only complaint that I had is that we learned how to make the white man's food. Like it was fucking gross. Like meatloaf ain't inherently like fucking ain't inherently white, but it's like they ain't put enough seasoning and shit. Like 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm like, that's gross.
The woman we had tried to teach us how to make pizzas with like biscuit dough. I was like, bitch, it tastes like biscuits with pepperoni on top. This does not taste like no damn pizza. What is your taste bud telling you?
I think we had pizza though. We learned how to do pizza, and I can't remember what else. It was some other stuff too. Also, what else? What's the thing called? Girl Scouts. We learned some stuff in there too, like how to make like this thing called a hobo meal, I guess. Where that's what they called it. It was like ground beef and like vegetables and stuff, like potatoes, carrots, and stuff like that, and you cook it on the grill.
Shit.
I'm like, first of all, they don't be eating that good. They don't
learn nothing but white people food. Like I said, meatloaf and like just shepherd's pie. I'm like, what the? What the fuck?
I've heard of that before. What is shepherd's pie?
Shepherd's pie is like an Irish food that you basically, it's traditionally made with sheep, like lamb, like ground lamb or something. But obviously kids were so grossed out that we ended up using ground beef. But basically it's like ground lamb, peas, carrots, whatever. So you mix it together, put it in a bacon pan.
It's potato, right?
And then potatoes on top. Yeah, mashed potatoes on top, and then you bake it. But I'm like, we don't eat this shit. all the black. It was so
but
weird.
You could black it up, like put some get some roast beef and like get some roast beef and put the vegetables. It's the season that junk good. Put the vegetables and
But that's
stuff
the
in
thing.
it.
It wasn't the foods that was the problem. It was the fact that the seasonings were not like we literally only put like a tablespoon of salt or like a teaspoon of salt and nothing else and like black pepper. I'm like, what? Like, where's the garlic powder? Where's the onion powder? Where's the other shit? Like,
right.
But
salt and pepper ain't gonna cut it. But I think it was different for us because like, who taught home ec? Did we have a black teacher?
I had a white teacher for real.
I think I think we had a black teacher. We had a good bit of black teachers. Of course, because y'all know where I live.
Yeah, where that's why my shit was trash.
It's mostly black people around here.
We had nothing but white teachers up here. The black teachers, thank God, but we had most of them did like it was either like PE or gym or dance or
I had ROTC.
Mm-hmm.
We did in my school too.
I was in it for 1 year.
I was in it my whole high school. I love that junk. Loved it.
I did not like it.
I loved it so much.
It was only because I liked the class itself, but a lot of the kids in there, like they had the structure like the military for real. And well, ours was Marine Corps. We had to have our yellow card plus our coin on us.
Yeah. So what did y'all do in ROTC? Like I've never been in it.
Girl, my ROTC was lit. Like we didn't do probably the things that everybody else was. We was having cookouts.
Okay, so what was y'all supposed to do?
They would teach us stuff like the rankings and stuff like that, military stuff. The we call it the creed thing we learned. Okay. I can't remember a lot of it, but we did a lot of drills. It was mostly drills that we got taught. So we wasn't in the classroom a lot.
You learned your facing movements and all of that, like left face, right face, about face, all of that.
Yeah, we did that too. I was actually the squad leader.
I didn't mind it, but there was one kid that took it too far, and he tried to punk me in front of my friends.
Hey, yo, so what?
He came up to me at lunch and was like, "Hey, where your coin at?" What? I'm like, "Bro, I'm chilling with we not in class right now. Leave me alone." Drop down and give me 10 push-ups. I said, "Nigga."
That's all. Cause see, we ain't had to do stuff like that, but it's always those people. It was those like boys that was gonna go into the military after they got out of school that used to take it so serious.
Yeah,
it's like, nigga, we in school. Leave me alone.
Like, yeah, this ain't even real. Like, what you talking about?
I was this close to punching them in the face.
Ooh, and the teacher, we had a teacher named Master Sergeant Blake. Like that nigga was something else. Like the old black guys that be mean. Like when he told you what to do, those rules and stuff, and like he would tell us not to put our stuff on the I forgot what the name of that junk called. It's some type of like stage type thing that they stand on to like give us the directions and stuff. And you put your book bag, he would take us the water hose and wet that junk up. He would wet. If you sat on it, he would wet you up. He wetting your stuff up. He wet everything. Like he was crazy, but it was funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, ours was Sergeant Major Walls. He was an old black guy like that. He was funny though. Like I remember he farted in class, right, and tried to blame it on me. He farted with just like, and then he waited till everybody smelled it, and he was like, Mosley.
Bro, ain't those ROTC teachers, they childish, bro. So we had a white one that was like that. Like that man was childish. He was just like that. But they used to teach us the songs and stuff like that. I used to love that part of it. To me, it was fun. People just didn't like it because you had to wear them uniforms. I used to love putting on my little uniform.
Me too. Actually, I used to take pride in it.
I love that job.
I would crease my shit up just right and everything.
Bro, I loved it. I love that job. Mom, you wash my uniform? Ma, you watch my, you feel like you got some pantyhose so I can shower with you. You can't tell me I wasn't about to be in the military.
I think I would have actually considered joining back then if it wasn't for the experience that I had.
I couldn't. Because as soon, like, I started getting sick. So I remember I told you I had to go homebound in like 11th and 12th grade. Bro, it was so sad because I used to go to that class and I couldn't do nothing. They used to put me in the office and I would do like write-ups and stuff like that for students. Like they like disciplinary stuff. Like I would put it in the computer or whatever. Like it was so boring.
Van, do you know that you're giving us a tour of your house?
Oh yeah, she was doing that earlier. I can't even see her screen.
I can see she giving us a whole tour. She's showing us her feet.
Oh, that's why. That's why. Cause why is it like this? Let me change the view. I don't like
that. I'm still cleaning up.
I didn't mean to make you feel bad.
But no, I'm still cleaning, so I ain't realized I'd even pushed the button.
Roy, you talking? We trying to see the background. What's in the back?
I mean, I'm walking, so I don't even know what back you're talking about.
Oh no, I'm talking about
Royal.
I'm like, he talking all his shit. Let's see the back. What's in the back?
Oh, that blurred background.
Right.
Nothing back here.
All right, so let us see it then. I'm looking at this.
He said, "Hey, that in the show."
Hey, for real, nothing in the show, for real.
Okay. I didn't introduce this episode, but welcome back to the Social Cycle Podcast, where we take a look at things affecting the Black community from a sociological and psychological point of view. I don't know what this is going to be named, don't know the topic, but I'm posting it. So, we just was talking about some real stuff, freestyle.
All right.
Supposed to be 20th episode, but we're gonna do the foreplay thing or whatever. Like I didn't do no layout, no nothing. We just was talking. This is a warm up for the next episodes that we about to record. So I hope y'all enjoyed it, but I'm about to stop it right here. So don't forget to email us at socialcyclepod@gmail.com if you have any questions or if you want advice on something. We'll try our best to answer your questions. But thanks for watching and we'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.
Subscribe.
Right. So I'll never say that.
Subscribe. If you watch this much, you liked it. You liked it.
Subscribe.
Like, comment, all that.
All that good stuff.